Hey there, viewers, and welcome back to the Self-Made Auto channel. So I'm out here at another shop doing my after-hours moonlight work, moonlighting on myself, I guess. I got called in to take a look at this 2001 Jeep Grand Cherokee Dub J. It's got the big 4.0 in it and is a crank, no start, no communication. So it's going to be just like our Neon that we did. Same style or same communication network, a PCI Databus. And we're going to do the same procedure. I know that the data bus is not being pulled down to ground because I can talk to the cluster, we can talk to the skim module and stuff like that. So that gives us some pretty big clues right off the bat. What we want to do, or what I did, and what I'm going to show you, is I came out to make sure, just like we did in the Neon video, that we have data bus out here, you know, that we have our PCI bus out here. So I'm going to back probe into that, and I have the key on currently. Let's see, probably going to have to set up a trigger here so we can see it flashing across the screen. So there we are. There's our 0 to 7 volt data bus, you know, the little data packets coming across there. So that tells us that we have the, you know, ability to communicate. You know, we have our communication wire, it's intact all the way up to the ECM. Next thing we have to do is powers and grounds. So it's just like the Neon. So we have 2 grounds over here on this side and 1 full-time battery source. So I'm just going to probe into those with our headlight. This should be hot at all times. Get back in here. Come on, little fella. So there is power and ground. We've got 1 more ground here. We'll get into that one. These ground wires are pretty big. I like to try to go right beside the insulation. And there is that ground. And then we have our keyed ignition source right there. So, and the key is on. So we've got both powers, both grounds. We got our PCI data bus. Now we still have no communication on the scan tool. And this is where this case is a little bit different than our Neon. Let me pop back out here so we can get, we'll just go to a regular voltmeter so you guys can see this a little better. If you guys remember correctly, our Neon had no 5-volt reference. Well, in this case, I've got 1 5-volt reference wire right here, and you can see we've got 5.17 volts. Now this also has the throttle position running, I believe it was the throttle position on the other 5-volt reference, and that one is also good too. And that one is under this other center connector, which I don't have off. I just went to the sensor just to check it. So, needless to say, this Jeep, similar symptoms to our Neon, same testing procedure, and the same problem. It needs an ECM. And unfortunately, the shop has already replaced the ECM. This is actually a replacement one. And what happened is, I guess, the original one had the symptoms. They determined that the ECM was bad, so they got this used one out of another car they had here, put it in. The fellow went through and swapped the skim module over and lock cylinder and key and all that stuff, so it would, you know, wouldn't have any security issues, and got it all done. Apparently it started and ran for a bit of time, you know, enough to move it around and all that stuff, and then it died and he was back with the same symptoms. So he thought perhaps he had another issue. However, he just happens to have another bad PCM. I tried to recreate it, or I was hoping I could recreate it for you guys. I'll have to pull that sucker out. These ECMs are really susceptible to corrosion. You can see this one's even corroded a little bit down there in that bottom corner. A lot of times if you grab this connector over here and you start tweaking it, you'll hear it kicking the auto shutdown relay on and off. And it was doing that when I first got here, but I could not get that on camera to show you guys. So I was hoping that I could, but I couldn't. So that's a free tip for you. If you get one of these, a lot of times you come over and you push down on this first connector. More often than not, I don't know why, but it tweaks the circuit board just enough to, you know, makes everything go crazy. Fuel pump will be kicking on and off, but it's a quick little test, although not definitive. So that's it, folks. Just wanted to share that with you. Wanted to show you one with the PCM dead, but still had a good 5-volt reference. And that's it. He's going to need another ECM. I think he's going to opt to get either a Southern used one that's not corroded, or perhaps just a, you know, a reman one or a new one if they're still available, and then we'll come write the VIN number to it, program the key, all that stuff, and move on with our day. In the meantime, why don't you guys go down there, click subscribe, ring the bell, and do all that stuff. Leave any questions, comments, criticisms, concerns in the comment box below. And just remember, viewers, if I can do it, you can do it. Thanks for watching.